Well, hi, everyone. Welcome in. This is Weather Unfiltered. First Monday of November. We flipped that calendar. I'm Mike Bettis.
I'm Alex Wilson. You're probably mad that it's dark and where you are, but it's National Sandwich Day.
Okay, so you're going to eat away your depression.
A tuna melt helps me sometimes.
Does it?
Yeah, when I'm having a bad day.
I had grilled cheese today and soup. It felt like a kind of day that you needed that.
It is. It's like when you need energy. And what gives you energy? Carbs. Lots of carbs, hot cheese, and then the soup to dip it in.
All that stuff for sure. A lot of you, that may be your diet this week because the weather turns a little chillier, a little windier, rainier. For some of you, snowier too.
Yeah, or maybe you want to get like a practice run on the Thanksgiving meal. That's what my mom does. She'll just like make a Thanksgiving randomly on like a Tuesday.
I'm going to throw a turkey in the oven.
I'm like, that's kind of awesome. I wish it's never when I'm visiting for some reason, but hey, it's one of those weeks. Do a dry run of Thanksgiving. You may be happy about it. You can see
practice makes perfect, right?
It does. You don't want to disappoint your fans come Thanksgiving. Now, this week we've got rounds of systems. In fact, round after round after round. So you're thinking, warm, cheesy, oven-baked goodness.
Yes, the crock pot will get a workout this week, no doubt about that. But the forecast stays stuck, in essence, across the Midwest and Northeast. We'll have some details on that throughout the show tonight. Another place that got stuck in some really nasty storms was down around Corpus Christi, Texas. November, Alex.
Yeah, it feels very November-ish. I remember those days up in western New York. Buffalo forecast, temps in the 50s. For most days, there will be several, though, that we don't get out of the 40s. Sunday, low 40s, and then we'll deal with Monday in a second. Bottom drops out on us. But at least through this week, expect mid-50s on Tuesday and Wednesday, upper 40s Thursday, Friday. Warmer, near 60, but rain showers move in, and obviously we can see what happens behind that system. 43 with rain on Sunday. You may wish it was snow, and you're in luck because on Monday morning, it will be snow. So I think sometimes it's like, if it's raining and it's cold, you're like, just give me the snow, especially in western New York. It doesn't faze us. Monthly snowfall for the city of Buffalo, usually a little bit more front-loaded, right? Because we have Lake Erie oftentimes freezing sooner than, say, Lake Ontario. So Syracuse's snow season's going to go longer than Buffalo's. 20.8 inches on average for the month of December, 22.8 for January. And then you notice by February and especially March, we start to see those numbers not get small, but they definitely go down from the higher months. Now, not going to be rain or not going to be snow, but it's going to be rain for Buffalo, for Syracuse much of the week. Looking at some 1 to 2 inch totals between now and Sunday, where we will see snow up into the north country of New York. So you can expect accumulating snow there, northern Vermont and New Hampshire, and then northern parts of Maine. Also going to see some snow. Also, don't want to leave out lower Michigan. You head up 75 past the Saginaw area, start to see some snow there, places like Traverse City. Right now, we are gusting to 36 miles an hour in Buffalo, 26 miles an hour in Syracuse. Notice we do have some lightning here on Lake Erie. So you've got that cooler air moving over the lake, and that is giving us some more intense rain showers and also the thunder and lightning. As we move through the evening into the overnight, it is central New York, places like Rochester. I think you'll see some showers too. Then we take a bit of a break into Tuesday, but by Wednesday, rain showers are back, snow showers as well. They'll move through. Third wave comes in on Friday into the weekend, and you can see it's pretty widespread rain that we're up against for the start of the weekend and for the end of the weekend. Sunday, here's our next system. And again, this one will likely bring rain to start, ending as snow for places like Buffalo, Jamestown, even Erie. So Sunday night, you're sitting around watching football, you may be seeing the flakes out the window. Rain and snow still to come, 1 to 2 inches for many. So very little in the way of snowfall accumulations for most areas, save for those more northern locations in New York, New England, and lower Michigan. Mike?
There are probably some folks out there that are saying, I like the blue.
Yeah, we know it offers up quite a bit, including wind. All of our systems this week will bring with it some wind. We had wind, of course, causing travel issues last week. Could see more of that this week as well. It's also going to lead to some issues when it comes to the foliage. Now, here's the deal. Up here, we're generally past peak anyway, so what's holding on is not, the best of the best, but very little leaf cover will be left over after this. Again, past peak for areas from Chicago to Peoria to about St. Louis and northward. So most areas, you're done with a lot of that really good color. You're going to be done with it now across the board because these winds are going to be picking up 30 to 40 miles an hour for many tonight. Get a brief break tomorrow, and then Wednesday morning, you can see the winds are back. Again, 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts for many areas. That would include the Northeast too. Then we get into Friday. Here comes the next system. Bet you can't guess how strong the winds are. Yep, you're right. 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts again for many. So these systems very, very similar as they come in. They bring the rain, the snow, and those winds in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range. Here's Sunday, more of the same. Indianapolis could gust 50 miles an hour. So I think most areas are looking at those 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts to be more common, but would not be out of the question to get some gustier winds. And you can see by late Sunday, we've got some of those wind gusts extending into the mid-Atlantic and Northeast states. So there'll be plenty of wind to go around. Again, northern New Hampshire, or northern New England, I should say, northern New York, much of the Northeast, honestly, you're past peak. So where we are still holding on to the fall color, that's farther down south. I think these winds are just going to take any of our, vestiges of that old color and plop them away. So we may be doing a little bit more raking this week.
Seems to always happen about this time of year, right?
Well, let's take a trip to Denver, Colorado, where, gosh, we started the month of November. We fell back on the clocks, and then we got an all-time record high for the month of November, 83 degrees. Dang, it was very warm out there across sections of the West. And honestly, we're going to see that warmth for many other areas. That's the trend this week as we start to see those temperatures climbing through parts of the country. So Denver, not alone, may not be this hot for some of you, but Denver, you were like, November who? I don't know her. Not yesterday, you didn't. Let's peek at what's happening this week across sections of the West, including the Denver area. You can see no more 83s coming our way. We've got 74 on Tuesday, 68 Wednesday. Then we're going mid-60s Thursday, Friday, mid-50s for the upcoming weekend. So a little bit more what we would expect this time of year. Yesterday, very much an anomaly. Cold air remaining up in Canada. You can see the jet stream, though, kind of flattens out, and high pressure starts to build over the plains. So by tomorrow, we're going to start to see those high temperatures 10, 15, even up to 20 degrees above average. We're back into the 80s for Lubbock and for Fort Stockton, and the 70s up towards Denver, but also Rapid City. So pretty far northward extent to those 70-degree temperatures. And the record highs that we could be setting in places like Scotts Bluff. Now, I think you're going to be close. The forecast is 78. The record is 80. Alamosa, Colorado, you're going to be close. Denver, you're going to be close. El Paso, very close. I think Amarillo is one spot where we will likely break the record. 86 is the forecast there. 85 is the record. So I think for a lot of areas, we're in that territory, but we may not quite get there. But we'll be pretty darn close. In or on Wednesday in Roswell, New Mexico, again, within a few degrees of the record. Abilene could be a degree away, so very much in play. Midland, 89 would tie your record, and in San Angelo, 90 would be awfully close. So 90 here in San Angelo. And it's, again, not just these cities. You can see a lot of areas, a lot of cities, a lot of population start to creep back above average. So not feeling much like winter. Wednesday, 213 million people above average. We'll keep a lot of that focused into the central U.S. on Thursday. Mike?
Okay, so all kinds of temperature changes are on.
Just about 6:30 in Buffalo, New York. Pretty dark out there. We've got some systems that'll make you, really think winter here as we get into this first week of earlier sunsets. I know this one's kind of brutal, but you start to, make the best of it. I know this is one of those weeks, though, you're really happy to have the Halloween candy because you're like, I need the sugar. We look at what's in store in our forecast this week. We've got temperatures in the mid-50s both Tuesday and Wednesday. Rain showers really start to come in, though, especially towards the second half of the week. Wednesday, Friday, again on Sunday. You can see it's repeated systems. And when we look towards the end of the 7-day forecast, 43 your high on Sunday. How about 35 with some light snow? Yes, I said it. Light snow coming our way on Monday. So we've got, chillier days ahead for a lot of these areas, including Buffalo, and accumulating snow, not just across North Country, New York, but northern sections of New England, northern parts of lower Michigan, and then back through parts of the Great Lakes. We've got a little bit of Wisconsin and North Dakota seeing some accumulating snow. A lot of areas, though, are going to be looking at rain. That'll be the measurable issue this week. Buffalo to Pittsburgh, probably in that 1 to 2 inch range. Same for Syracuse. Rochester, you may stay sub 1 inch in between the two cities along I-90. Mike?
Thank you very much for that.